During the height of World War II, British pilots flew missions deep over enemy territory, knowing that one mistake, a hit to the engine, a bad storm, or a navigation error, could send them crashing behind enemy lines. Survival wasn't guaranteed, but capture wasn't the end either. What most people don't know is that these pilots carried something extraordinary: hidden survival kits sewn directly into their uniforms. These weren't just compasses and maps stuffed in pockets. They were ingeniously disguised tools designed by the British Secret Service, MI9, to help downed airmen escape from occupied Europe. Everything from buttons to shoelaces could be part of an elaborate escape system. For the next few minutes, we're uncovering how this hidden kit worked, who made it, and how its lessons in preparation and ingenuity still apply today. MI9's secret mission was to help men escape, not just fight. The story of the hidden pilot kits begins with MI9, a branch of British intelligence created in 1939 under the leadership of Brigadier Norman Crockett and the brilliant inventor Christopher Clayton Hutton, known simply as Clutty. While MI6 gathered information, MI9 focused on getting Allied airmen out of occupied territories. Their job was to supply pilots with covert escape tools, items that wouldn't arouse suspicion if captured, but could make all the difference once they were on the run. MI9 worked hand in glove with tailors, manufacturers, and even stage magicians to conceal escape gear in plain sight. Every item a pilot wore could have a double purpose. Boots had hidden blades, uniform buttons could turn into compasses, and silk maps were sewn into linings. The goal was simple: make every part of a pilot's uniform a potential survival asset. A typical RAF pilot's uniform during World War II looked standard from the outside: wool trousers, tunic, leather boots, and flight jacket. But inside it concealed one of the most sophisticated survival kits ever made. Tucked within the seams and linings were folded silk maps showing railway lines, safe houses, and escape routes through France, Belgium, and the Netherlands. These maps were printed on silk rather than paper, because silk didn't rustle, tear, or dissolve in water. Buttons were another stroke of genius. Some were magnetized and carefully balanced to work as makeshift compasses. A simple trick, hanging the button by a thread, could help a downed pilot orient north. Other buttons unscrewed to reveal small compartments holding fishhooks, saw wires, or tiny messages printed on rice paper. Even the boot heels were hollowed out to store small blades or gold coins for bribing locals or buying food. The British understood that survival was as much about resourcefulness as it was about courage. The brilliance of the British escape kit lay not only in what it contained, but how well it was disguised. Christopher Hutton, who had once worked in show business designing illusions, applied the same thinking to espionage. He collaborated with luxury manufacturers like John Peel Tailors and map maker Bartholomew and Son to make tools that were invisible until needed. For example, playing cards were printed with ordinary backs, but when soaked in water they peeled apart to reveal hidden maps of occupied Europe. Razor blades were stamped with faint markings that, when viewed through a polarized lens, revealed escape coordinates. And perhaps most famously, Monopoly boards were re-engineered to smuggle actual escape kits into prisoner-of-war camps. These game sets contained concealed silk maps under the board, real currency under the play money, and compasses hidden in the dog and car tokens. While the Monopoly version was mainly for POWs, the same ingenuity shaped the kits that pilots carried into combat. Beyond tools and maps, the secret pilot kit served another purpose. It gave downed airmen hope. Being shot down behind enemy lines could mean days or weeks of evasion, starvation, and fear. Knowing you had a map sewn into your jacket or a compass button on your sleeve meant you weren't helpless. Pilots trained to rely on these tools practiced removing them discreetly and memorized how to orient themselves without drawing attention. In survival training, MI9 taught pilots techniques like using the stars for navigation, marking their direction with small sticks, and trading gold coins for food. Those simple escape aids often made the difference between capture and freedom. One RAF officer, squadron leader John Mott, famously used a silk map hidden in his jacket to navigate from southern France to neutral Spain after his plane was downed in 1942. He later credited MI9's hidden kit for saving his life. While modern survivalists have GPS, thermal blankets, and compact multi-tools, the principles behind MI9's designs remain timeless. The first lesson is concealment, keeping essential survival gear integrated into your clothing or everyday items. A modern equivalent might be a paracord bracelet containing fishing line, fire starter, and cutting wire, or a belt with a hidden pocket for cash and a micro tool. Now, the second lesson is multifunctionality. Every item should serve more than one purpose. For example, the RAF used soap as waterproofing, buttons as compasses, and cloth as both map and bandage. If you're building a modern survival kit, think the same way. A steel watch band can double as a snare wire, and a phone case can conceal a small fire-starting flint. Finally, there's the mindset. Preparation isn't paranoia, it's foresight. The British didn't wait to be rescued. They planned for the worst and equipped themselves accordingly. That's a principle as relevant for a mountaineer in Alaska as it was for a pilot over France in 1943. The ingenuity that went into these secret kits, well, it really reflected the broader spirit of wartime innovation. Every small invention, whether it was a magnetized button or a silk map, came from that intersection of necessity and imagination. These weren't superweapons, not at all. They were small, personal acts of defiance against honestly impossible odds. Each hidden item represented preparation, adaptability, and above all, a refusal to give up. Many of these original kits are now displayed in museums, like the Imperial War Museum in London, their secrets finally revealed after decades. Yet their lessons remain alive every time someone learns how to turn an ordinary object into a tool for survival. The story of the secret British kit inside pilot uniforms isn't just about wartime cunning. It's about human resilience and invention under pressure. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most powerful weapons aren't firearms or bombs, but knowledge, preparation, and creativity. If you found this look into Britain's secret wartime ingenuity as fascinating as I did, make sure to subscribe to In the Beginning and share this story with fellow history enthusiasts. Because, the more we uncover these forgotten details, the more we understand what true preparedness and true courage really mean.